everybody, to the first episode of the True Gentleman Podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Andrew.
And here we go. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
So, what are we going to do here? We're just going to talk to the people. We don't really know what we're going to talk about. I feel like that's the question I got asked the most when I told people about this. It's just like, I don't know. But,
First run.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. How was your 2020, dude?
It was long.
Yeah?
It was a long year.
Yeah. So Andrew's a firefighter, and he spent a lot of time fighting the wildfires for us, keeping us safe.
It was busy. It was unnecessarily busy, but it was good. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a lot of overtime. It was a good first year. It was my first year doing it.
Yeah,
So
dude, I
got some
remember
experience.
you've been plugging away, grinding, trying to meet your prerequisites, so congratulations. I know this was like your first full year, and so I'm proud of you.
Appreciate it. Oh, see?
So Andrew and I met in Idaho. He's from San Francisco. I'm from the Central Valley. We're both from California, but we met in Idaho at the University of Idaho. Go Vandals.
Go Vandals.
Boise State can go suck a rock.
Yeah, we're not going there.
Wait, do you follow Barstool Idaho on Instagram?
Yeah, I do.
It's so funny, dude.
It's good.
I love all the anti-Boise State memes. It gives me so much nostalgia.
It's a nice little taste of the college home. I do miss it sometimes.
The Dirty Scout.
The Dirty Scout.
The Dirty Scout, yeah.
I do want to go back
It's
up and
such a
visit.
great place.
Visit.
Yeah, I spent 4 years there. You spent a year,
Two-ish.
2 years there, a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew's a college dropout. Yeah. Hey, you know what?
Doing it.
Connie made a album about you, so.
Yeah, I did.
So
One about you? I don't
yeah.
think so.
No, there's not one about The Graduate. So
No.
I'm not cool enough apparently.
I understand.
But
It's just
I like our how we met story. I feel like your dad and your mom bring it up a lot. They always seem surprised that we're still friends,
Yeah.
because they like to say that you're a bad friend,
I am
which
a
I
bad
haven't
friend.
experienced.
I'm a terrible long
I
distance
have not
friend.
experienced that. We got other people in the house. It's a packed house right now. We got the females and the dogs. Yeah, like we met. You were the first person I met in Idaho, and we met in line to register or to check into the dorm to see what room we were gonna get. And I remember I just introduced myself. You introduced yourself. You said you were from San Francisco, and I was like, "Whoa, dude, I'm from Fresno."
And go all the way to Idaho to make a break from California. We met in line at the dorms and we hung out for a little bit there, and then obviously we went our own ways to try and set up and had our families there and had to move in. And then we ran into each other again at Walmart.
At Walmart. No. We ran into each other for the second time. We realized we were across the hall from each other.
Yeah.
So we didn't even, when we first met, we didn't know what floor we were going to be on. And then we ended up seeing each other again in the dorms right across the hall from each other. And that was cool. Like the first person I met, that kind of made me comfortable because we were both out of state,
Yep.
so we knew nobody. We were both 17, so
Young.
I remember I had so much stuff to do before we left, or before my mom left, because I was 17, but I had a job lined up, but I was a minor, so she had to sign all this like child labor law stuff to pretty much give me her consent to, that was.
Yeah, you worked hard throughout all of college, at least while I was there.
You know what?
Worked, pretty much full time and had a full time student note.
Levi, I don't want to play with you right now. Daddy's busy, and you over here trying to. Kiko's over there. He's a good audience member, and this dude over here is just. But you know what? That's okay, because this isn't a chill podcast. This is chill. What we want to do is hang out with the people. Our 0 viewers right now, but hopefully
We got two.
We got two viewers, so. We're kicking it back old school. This is filmed in front of a live studio audience. All 2 of them, 4 if you're including the animals.
Yeah.
But we got no aspirations for this. This is really more of an excuse for us to hang out.
Yeah.
You know,
Which
and
is needed.
yeah, and I think we're two pretty fun guys. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you said so many times in Idaho, you're a gentleman and a scholar, and that's kind of where the name came from. We're very gentleman-like dudes.
I mean,
We try to be.
to
We
an
intend to
extent.
be. Yeah, we're definitely degenerates, but in a gentleman-like fashion. And you know, subject matter is gonna increase. There's a lot of things that we want to do. You know, we both like camping, so we might take this camera out and go camping and have some fun. I definitely would like to travel a little bit more this year. I know COVID and the pandemic is going to make that a little difficult, but we need to take you to Vegas and pop your Vegas cherry, because this dude has never been to Vegas, and so I think we need to go there and
see how that goes.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. No, we gotta go do a lot of stuff. I think this is the year. Hopefully everything calms down with the whole COVID stuff. We should have more time at least.
Yeah.
To go out and actually do things.
But this platform, you know, we're what we want to do is, like I said, we just want to hang out. You know, we want to do some fun stuff and, you know, share it with the people. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, then, you know, we're gonna continue. You can hate us off the internet, you know, if you want, but we're here to stay. But yeah, so going back to how we met again across the hall, and then we went to Walmart, and then we met again. You guys were buying a TV, and then we just kept running into each other, and it was almost like fate. And when I went to go visit you for New Year's, when we were FaceTiming with your parents, it was just, they were very impressed with how long we've stayed friends. But you're my bro, and you're stuck with me, dude.
Good.
You know, I'm gonna bug you, even if you ignore me.
You're gonna have to, because like I said, I am a terrible long distance friend. So it's nice to have somebody who actually continuously reaches out and kind of keeps you
I miss you, dude. I
engaged.
miss you. You know, we attempted to live together in Idaho, and
yeah, the first round of that didn't go great.
No.
No.
Do we want to tell the people why that didn't go so well? We want to tell them about your.
Oh, we were young. We were in college, and by we I mean I had other priorities lined up, and
that didn't involve going to class.
Or going home.
Do your parents know all the shenanigans that you got into? Do they know about all the covering I did for you?
They know a good portion.
So I'm not gonna out you by. I mean, like I said, no one's gonna watch this. You know.
No,
They're probably not gonna watch this.
No, it was what, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Almost 7 years ago now.
Yeah. So can I tell them how I assisted you in the tracking of everything?
Yeah.
So he used to have me take his phone with me to class. Why, bud?
This is a really good drink, by the way. So we're gonna air it all out on the first one.
We have to get it out. We have to establish some comfort.
While I was in college, my parents were very.
We're both. I know I'm nervous, even though I know no one's gonna see this. I'm still very nervous.
Oh yeah, being in front of the camera.
So I need help. I need some liquid courage.
Yeah. And
so, go ahead.
So my parents were on top of me when I was in college, despite the fact that we were states away. You know, Find My Friends or Find My iPhone or whatever the hell they used was a favored app for them. So at all times they knew where I was, and more often than not, I was where they didn't want me to be.
Yep.
So I would hear about it, and I had a good habit of not going to class and going to do what I wanted to do.
Healthy habit, yeah.
Yeah, good habit probably isn't the right word for that. Staying in school, kids, it's important and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Just be a YouTuber.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out if that works.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Anyway, going back, I spent a lot of time with my girlfriend at the time, which wasn't healthy.
No.
By any means.
No.
But Josh would be nice enough to take my phone and go to class for me, per se. So my phone went with Josh to all of his classes. So if you looked at it, I was in the architecture building a lot.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of
You had a lot of electives in the architecture program. You almost minored in it. You always, for as many architecture classes that you went to, you almost got a minor.
If you would have just recorded with my phone, I probably could have.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, so you would help me kind of hide from my parents a little bit.
For sure. Yeah, hide in plain sight.
But then I'd have to meet you on campus again because despite the fact that we lived together, I never really went home.
No.
So in order to get my phone back, I had to find you on campus.
Yeah. Yeah.
We still had a good time. There was many a good evening that we spent at that apartment or townhouse or whatever you want to call it.
So I mentioned Liquid Courage. So we are drinking. We are 21. Full disclosure.
But we're not 21. We're older than.
We're over 21. You know what? If I want to young myself down, they don't know. Okay, I cleaned up my beard. I did my I prettied myself up. I dolled up
You got
for
your
this
eyebrows
stupid
waxed and
podcast
everything.
that's no one's gonna watch.
That's impressive.
But what are we drinking?
We are drinking 7 and 7s, which is Seagram 7 American blended whiskey. Which on
Is
its
Seagram's
own-
American?
It is.
Why did I think it was English? I think it's because you're English. I thought it was English.
No, it is not English. It is American. It is like $10 at Walmart. I think it's the.
It's
got
good.
this bottle.
It's
It's
good.
sweet. It's a
It's
very,
a very-
light, sweet whiskey. Mine is quite watered down at the moment, which is why it's so much lighter. But you mix this with 7-Up with some ice cubes, and it's really easy to make. And it is my preferred mixed drink. Has been all weekend, and has been for a long time actually.
Yeah, no, I remember that was your staple right there was Seagram's. Yep, no, add it, mix it up. Although that's kind of the same, but
I also had a couple more.
what we want to do, because we're both very I wouldn't say we're whiskey experts or even alcohol experts, but we do enjoy the sauce. And
Do you call it the sauce?
the sauce, dude. We do enjoy the sauce.
Okay.
And we do like to play around with different mixed drinks. So I think something that we're gonna do and talk about a little bit each episode is we're gonna try to feature a new cocktail. It's mostly gonna be whiskey based because we both enjoy our whiskeys. I actually prefer rum to whiskey just because I like it. It's a little bit, I don't know, I just enjoy the flavor more, but we do enjoy our whiskey. So this is a 7 and 7. We've had many a drunk night with 7 and 7, many a tears, many of laughs.
Whiskey's a good emotional.
Yeah. It
A whiskey drunk is a very heartfelt, emotional drunk, at least in my experience.
Yeah, we definitely have had our drunk nights where we've had heart to heart, we've cried about shit we've been through, and then we've also had some really fun nights where it's just like we were going on an adventure. And you know what? That's one thing that I really enjoyed about Moscow it was so small, and it was such a big university. I mean, you're talking about a town that's like 24,000, which I know there's much smaller towns than that, but that's pretty small. It was mostly the university. You know. I would say a good half of the population there, you either worked at the university or attended the university, and then you just, for whatever reason, live in Moscow, Idaho, if you weren't affiliated with the university. But it was a good walking town, and we have some adventures that we're going to share with you guys about being in college and drunk and going on walks and not really knowing where we were going to end up and having some times along the way.
It was a good little safe town. It was like a little rural. It was a college town. That's pretty much the only thing that was there was the college, which made it nice as a college student to just enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful campus too.
So your 2020, how was your 2020?
It was long, very long.
Very
How was your
long.
2020?
It's very short. I feel like it went by really fast because
That's probably not a bad thing.
we met in Idaho, so I lived in Idaho for 4 years, then moved to Arizona for 2, and then moved back home to California in 2019, and it still feels like I just moved back home.
Yeah.
Like, it does not feel like I've been here coming up on 2 years now. And so I think a lot of that had to do with how crazy 2020 was. I mean, unfortunately, I know a lot of people are struggling right now with the pandemic and, work and all that. But, I've been gracious enough to maintain my employment. And so going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home was a very routine thing even before the pandemic. And so I feel like as far as a daily life change, it wasn't. I did enjoy working from home for a little bit, but even then, I didn't. It didn't affect my day to day too much, other
That's
than
good.
wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, couple more things we're gonna do each episode is other than our cocktail of choice for the episode, we're gonna do a would you rather. And what was the one that we were talking about yesterday?
It was, would you rather be able to speak to animals, or would you rather be able to speak
Every
any
foreign language. Okay. So I don't like people.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Sorry. And I probably shouldn't have a podcast if I don't like people. I love people. I do love people. I try to respect people, but they bother me sometimes. They really do, especially on the road. And so one thing that the pandemic has really helped with was clearing a lot of that because y'all are working from home and you're not, in my way when I'm trying to speed to work because,
you're late.
I'm sorry. My morning routine is difficult. But
Understood.
So I think I would rather talk to animals because I really want to know what my dog thinks of me.
Specifically what your dog thinks.
Specifically what my dog thinks of me because everyone tells me I'm super mean to my dog. But to me, as a dog dad, I'm supposed to be his father, not his friend.
Okay.
So I gotta discipline him. Everyone always tells me how well behaved my dog is and everything. I say, hey, yeah, because I'm mean to him. I don't show him love. He has a home and food and water. He has shelter and bandanas that I like to put on him. Dude, I love putting bandanas on my dog because
Really?
Oh yeah, and I'll color coordinate with him. I'm that type of dog parent where it's like if I put a red bandana on him, I'm gonna be rocking like my red Chuck Taylors and probably like a red shirt and color coordinating with that. Yeah, that's kind of pathetic, but it makes me happy.
There you go.
It makes me happy. They always say that dogs resemble their owners.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope not. My dog isn't the brightest bulb in the box. So.
Should we bring the dogs up? Let's bring the dogs up so they know. Levi, come here. He's so excited because he never is ever allowed on the couch, but I'm gonna. And then Kiko is over there.
He's cuddling with Mom right now, so I don't think he's gonna get up.
Oh, he's sleepy. He's sleepy right there.
He is. He's had a few late nights this weekend. He's not used to that. He's got a pretty strict bedtime of like 8:30.
He's a sleepy dog. He's like a cat.
He's a sleepy dog.
Oh, he's all excited now because he's like, I'm never allowed on the couch.
You're giving me attention and I'm on the couch? Look at this. Look at you're just a puddle. You just know.
So I would definitely like to talk to like all animals, like birds and bears. Like one of my favorite movies as a kid was Dr. Dolittle,
Okay.
And so like I'm just like,
that's a good movie.
Cause that's just like being able to speak every foreign language would be cool and all, but like I want to know what animals think, Like,
okay. I respect it.
I want that point of view. Not that they're not sentient, so they're not self-aware. So it's just that would they have an opinion on shit?
The question is, would you be able to talk to them?
Yeah.
Or would you just like hear their thoughts and just be like, oh, well, this dog thinks I'm stupid. Could you like talk back?
Because talking to animals, assuming I know English, so. Would I hear their thoughts in English? Like, what is this superpower? Or do I just kind of inherently know what they're thinking?
A lot of logistical loopholes here.
And is it just food and shelter, And I feel like we're assuming that they're going to have personalities.
Yeah.
I mean, dogs have personalities. That's just a fact. Dogs definitely have personalities. But, like, if I go out and try to talk to a bear... Are they gonna be like, oh, this dude's alright, or is he gonna maul me anyways?
Well, you never know.
So how about you?
I
would you rather talk to animals or know every language?
I would rather be able to speak every language. I just feel like that would be more useful on a day.
No, it definitely would be more useful. I definitely went the route of just curiosity, but being able to talk to every single person, in their language is definitely something that would be cool to do and. More culture based.
That and if I do want to know what my dog really thinks of me, if it's not good, I don't really want to know. In my mind, he loves me. I'm great. I'm dad.
He's not secretly plotting your death.
Exactly.
That's cats. Cats are secretly plotting your
He
death.
could
Cats
basically be a cat.
Cats are aliens, and they will murder you in your sleep. That's facts.
I picture small dogs as like
Little cats.
they're kind of cat-like. I'm not a small dog. I wasn't a small dog person until my girlfriend and I got a small dog, and now it's really easy to throw him around. So now I have to go get my dog.
You gonna get your dog?
Yes.
So I'm gonna talk to you guys. So a couple weeks ago, I was visiting my parents, and I was having a rough day. I was at work, and it was just not a good day. And I don't like cats, but when I got out of my car to go up to my parents' house, this cat was just chilling in front of my driver door, just on the road, looking at me. And I'm like, all right, dumb cat, like I'm just gonna walk around you, because it did not want to move. And so I get out, I'm walking to the door, and I hear a little jingle, and this stray cat is just following me up to the door. And like I said, I was having a bad day, and I ring the doorbell. I'm waiting, for my mom to open the door, and this cat just starts like is against me, like walking through my legs, and like it like knew that I needed some love in my life, and it was just like, hey, I don't know you, but I'm here for you, and I have never felt like so much love for a cat in that moment. I don't like cats. I've been I've never really been bit by a dog. But I've been scratched by cats, and so it's
consistently.
Yeah, so
Cats
are mean.
Yeah.
Cats are mean. They're aloof and they're cold-hearted. But I'm sure if any cat owners ever end up watching this, they're gonna disagree. But
I feel like if you get a cat that has the personality of a dog, you're doing okay.
mm-hmm.
Otherwise, cats are just moody.
I don't know how long it's been. We're gonna shoot for 45 minutes, about an hour. We'll see how that goes. Again, this is probably very boring, but you know what? We're hanging out. We're hanging out. So, would you rather? Oh yeah, Kiko is probably out of frame now.
He decided to leave. He does not enjoy
The
cuddling
spotlight.
with me as much as I.
That's lucky, because this dog gets 0 love from me, and he only gets love from other people and his mama. And I do my job to train him and make sure he doesn't bolt out of the house and bite people he doesn't know and mess with people. He's a good pup.
He's a very well behaved.
He's a good pup. This is Levi.
Bug. He really is. Yeah. Yeah. Talking about you.
Yeah. He's like this. Just I don't care what's going on. Just keep doing it. So you'd rather be able to talk. Who would you talk to? I'm curious, because if I could talk to animals, I would definitely want to talk to bears. Bears are my favorite animal other than dogs. My favorite wild animal are bears. Selma High, home of the bears. That's my favorite animal. It's an icon of California. So I would definitely be trying to talk to bears. Did you hear about the dude who lived with bears for a while?
And they got eaten by.
And they got eaten by them?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because they're bears.
Yeah, he legit lived amongst bears. And I think it was him and his wife, or him and his girlfriend. It was a while ago. We were in middle school or high school. And so it was just, yeah, they're bears, dude. And he's and he tried to legit live amongst them.
This coming from the guy who just said, if I could talk to animals, I'd want to go talk to bears.
Well, but I would though. I would. And so that would be my animal of choice. That would be the thing that I'm gonna go out in the mountains and try to find a bear and talk to him and ask him questions about life, what's it like to hibernate? I want to.
You could just ask me that. Wintertime, I'm sleeping all day, every day.
So which people are you talking to the most? What's the first country you're visiting and testing this out on?
I want to speak and understand Japanese. It's been interesting. I definitely tried for a couple weeks to Duolingo myself into some Japanese, and it is not easy. Mm-hmm. And it takes a lot more effort than I was willing to put in at the time to learn. So I think just if I could learn foreign languages easily, that would be easy. I could go anywhere I want to and not have to worry about something eating me just because I talk to it.
Yeah.
You say the wrong thing to a dog and
Or a
you're
bear,
mad.
yeah.
You say the wrong thing to a bear and you're freaking lunch.
What's your name? Tony?
And then the conversation's over because you can eat.
The conversation is over because yeah, so it's a very short life, people who can talk to animals. But I feel like you're gonna I don't know. It might be worthless, honestly. It might just be like I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm cold.
I'm hungry. You're here.
Because it's a wild animal, you know? So it's just survival. It's all
What do you think?
survival.
I mean, it would be interesting to know.
Yeah, again, we're assuming that they have a personality. It might just be radio silence.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, well, Genie, can I have my wish back? And it's like, nah, dude, you're already decided, dude, you're stuck with it. Yeah, you could have been able to talk to anyone, but no.
You chose poorly.
You chose poorly. Oh my gosh. How I Met Your Mother is really how we bonded.
That was a real staple in our.
Yeah, that show taught me how to love.
That show taught me life.
Yeah, that show in all aspects. You don't like the ending of that show, though.
I do not like the
I
ending.
love the ending. I hated it just like everyone else.
I
And
think you just appreciate bad endings or like poor endings that end poorly. For
no,
the characters.
okay, your
I think you
definition of
appreciate
poorly is just sad. And I'm like, okay, if the ending's sad, it's still a good story. Just because it doesn't have a happy ending doesn't mean it's a bad story.
this. The issue that I have with it is I enjoy Ted as a character. I feel like I can kind of relate with
He's
Ted
the reason
as a
why I
character.
became an architect. Not really, but let's just go
It
with
sounds
that.
good. I would go with that. You know, we'll just edit the disagreeing with that part out and we're just gonna leave it with that.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ted's a good dude. He's a good dude throughout the entire show, and then at the very end he's like, yeah, so anyway, I won't ruin it, but I don't appreciate
Okay, if you have
Ted's
not
ending.
seen the ending to How I Met Your Mother, you either are not going to see it. Yeah, you're
But
just
you
not going to
shouldn't.
see it. You should. For anyone
No,
listening,
just
they
appreciate
really
the
should
storyline
see it.
to it. Don't worry about the ending. It's not even worth it.
Barney will teach you so
If it was
much about
bad
life.
enough that the fans of the show had to have the creators recreate a secondary
Dude, he's
ending,
asleep right now. He is out.
he's had a long weekend.
He has had a long weekend.
He doesn't get out very much. He's, a whole 7
He's
pounds.
out. He is tuckered out. That poor boy. He is tired. That's so funny.
You gotta find that one pillow to cuddle with, though.
He's like under the pillow.
Yeah, we're talking much.
Oh, he's like slightly opening.
He does know when to talk about him.
Yeah.
He is very aware. Yes, he's asleep.
Alright, so going back to How I Met Your
Going
Mother.
back to How I Met Your Mother. If it was bad enough that they had to recreate a second ending because the fans disliked the original ending so much, that might be saying something.
Is that what happened?
Yes, that's what happened.
I feel like that was the original ending. That was the intent all the way through.
I agree, but the fans hated it so much that they spun it off and they said, "Oh wait, that didn't really happen."
What do you mean they spun it off? Am I missing something?
No, they didn't have a. I'm sorry, it wasn't a spin-off. It was they recreated the ending to appease the fans who hated the original.
What's the alternate ending?
That there is no poor decision by Ted. I feel like that was vague enough.
No, just because I don't know what you're talking about, so you kind of need to.
Okay, so all right.
They're
We're
either
gonna
gonna watch it,
ruin
they're not
it.
gonna watch it. No one's gonna watch this
So-
anyway, so.
Spoiler alert: this is going to completely ruin the entire show. So at the end, Ted meets the mother. They get married, have kids. They do all this, happy ending shit, and then stuff. Happy ending stuff.
Yep,
Happy ending stuff.
yep.
And then the mom becomes ill and dies.
Yeah, that's the original ending.
And because she gets
So
Oh,
the
nice.
alternate ending is that she doesn't die?
yes, the alternate ending is that they live happily ever after because he found the
See,
mother.
okay, so sorry for
I don't
anyone
have
who's
an
lost
issue.
and has never seen the show. I feel like most people have, but I feel like Robin was Ted's soulmate, and Tracy was the love of his life.
I disagree. I
Because
think they
you
were-
can love both of them, but Tracy was the love of his life. She gave him kids because Robin couldn't have kids, right? So all that stuff needed to happen in order for Ted to be fulfilled. To the point where, like, the biggest thing that Robin didn't want was kids, right? So
or to
she
get married or settle
or-
down or do anything that
right.
Ted's
So she
future-
basically got what she wanted out of it, like, because it doesn't end with them getting married.
no.
But his kids are grown up. She didn't have the full mom responsibilities, but she was always Aunt Robin.
by kids grown up, they're still kids. They're not adults.
They were
have not
teens,
left the
though.
house.
They were. She
They're
only
still-
had to deal with them in the house like 3
Regardless-
years.
Kids are going to be your kids whether they're in
True,
the house,
true.
out of the house, whatever. Robin
Facts.
still doesn't want kids. She doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to settle down. She doesn't want any of that.
But in terms of a happy medium, you know, would you rather, in her scenario or in her shoes, would you rather have kids for 18 years or not have to deal with the poop, diapers, and all that talking stuff? And
is that the issue that she had? Or
I feel like it was.
I don't think she had an issue with dealing with the physical part of having kids. I think it was that she didn't want to be tied down. Right. She doesn't want to be locked in.
But that only reinforces the fact that the ending's so good that she had her career. Like, Ted had his family, she had her career, and when they were kind of done with doing what they needed to do, they came back together.
But do you really... Okay, throughout the entire show, Ted is Robin's second choice because he'll always be there, but he represents everything that she doesn't want. Mm-hmm. So you finally get this happy ending, you meet the love of your life, or your soulmate, or whatever you want to call it, Tracy. Mm-hmm. You have your kids, you do all this, and now, because she's dead, you're just going to go back and be the second choice again? Is that satisfying for you? Because it wouldn't be for me.
But I feel like that is okay with Ted. Ted definitely seems like the type of character to... And Josh Radnor is such an amazing
actor. He does an amazing job as Ted. He really does.
He really does. I love Josh Radnor and a lot of the things that he did. Liberal Arts, a movie that he made after, I think, How I Met Your Mother came out, was really, really well. Because he kind of plays another Ted.
I think he is a Ted.
He's very much a Ted.
Roundabout, he's a Ted in real life.
I'm feeling pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
Feeling like shoe nice right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All it takes is two.
Good. Yeah. A cheap date over here.
Good. Excellent. I had a lot of 7 and 7 this weekend.
You want another one?
No, I'm gonna
make
another drive.
Yeah, you still do have to drive. Yeah. So this is gonna take a kind of weird format, you know, obviously because this is our first episode. This is our first time trying this out. We have no idea how this is gonna go. And fuck it, because either we're going to keep our day jobs, which we both have day jobs, or this is going to go really well. But regardless...
I don't think either one of us have any realistic idea of this going.
No, not at all. Again, this is more of an excuse for us to hang out. And I feel like we're both pretty entertaining guys to be around. At least I have a good time when I'm around you. We have some times, and so we're either gonna, meet some really good people along the way, or no one's gonna watch this. And regardless, I missed you, dude. We got robbed of a lot of time together because of other people interfering in your life.
Yeah, it was very one-sided. I will give it that.
Talk to people. I need to put ice on this.
Okay, we'll talk to you. Or we'll just completely edit this out because...
Yeah, it's just going to be... Oh, alright, we have to talk about... No, go ahead and talk to the people, because I feel like they can hear me.
I feel like you people can hear him, so it's okay. So anyway, we're going to go back to the dog now. He's awake and alert. This is Kiko. He is always going to be a puppy. He's like 3 years old. A little older than that now.
Alright, you suck at this. So...
We're talking about my damn dog.
So
Darren's not my dog like this.
When you say we're gonna edit this out, we're gonna end up being like right here, and then we're gonna edit something out, and then I'm gonna end up being right here because we're editing it out. So it's kind of hard to not do this in one shot, but it reminds me of. So we did take one class together in college. It was an English class, and Kiko's leaving, and so we were. We had to do like a historical interview. So we can pick anybody dead or alive in history and do an interview. And I don't know why. I know it was my idea, but I have no rhyme or reason why I picked Nikola Tesla.
I really don't know.
I
wasn't really involved.
Which kind of says a lot about me because, Elon Musk, Tesla kind of became a big thing. So I feel like I saw that before anyone. Just saying.
Okay.
Tooting my own horn here. But, so were you Nikola Tesla or was I Nikola Tesla?
You were.
So I pretended to be Nikola Tesla. He was interviewing me and we did this thing where I was wearing a suit to the interview because it was an interview. I think it was a job interview or something, or was it just a standard interview?
Honestly, I don't really remember the format of it. I just remember our little stint.
Yeah. So I wore a suit to the interview, and then periodically I would pause the recording, and then change the suit, and then continue, and that was like a talking thing. It was almost like an SNL type skit where it's just like I just kept changing the suit during the interview and was wearing different stuff, but it was very low brow, very low production. It was just pause on the camera. There was no editing. It was just pause on the camera. I would go change. I would hit play again, and that was a funny video. I remember when we showed that to the rest of the class that it was we got an A. We got an A.
We did. We did good. I think that was fun. That was a good little project. I think that was one of the few projects.
So we did the Would You Rather. We're going to try to do a Would You Rather for every episode just to kind of give us something to talk about, because like I said, we don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about current events. We might talk about a conspiracy here and there, just kind of whatever comes to mind in the moment. But
How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother, a lot of How I Met Your Mother quotes, a lot of Office quotes, just kind of whatever's going on, dude. This is a hangout sesh, and we want all the ladies and gentlemen out in the world who want to hang out with us to come and hopefully enjoy the podcast. I really hope people end up enjoying this. Like I said, this isn't something that we really have any sort of idea how it's going to go. But another thing we're going to talk about is a Mount Rushmore. You know, and I think for our first Mount Rushmore, which if you don't know what a Mount Rushmore is, it's your personal top 4. So this isn't, anything like this is the top 4 of anything. This is your own personal top 4. So there, your argument is that, hey, this is just my opinion. So your Mount Rushmore of whiskeys is going to be our first. That is loud. I apologize for that. We live on a very busy street out kind of in a rural area, and so high traffic and loud engines with souped up Hondas. It's kind of a real thing. It's really annoying at night. Really annoying when you're trying to enjoy your evening. You just hear some jerk, with no muffler on his car. And I was afraid that was going to happen, and I'm sure it won't be the last time that happens, but no. Mount Rushmore, and for our inaugural Mount Rushmore, since we are drinking whiskey, is your top 4 whiskeys.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, no, you go first. You know what, we'll go 1 and 1.
Okay. So my number 4, we'll go 4-1, yeah?
However you want, dude, however you want. You can do your top, because I feel like that's going to be an easiest choice, but if you want to go 4-1, that's whatever you want to do.
I think I'm gonna go with 4. I'll start at the bottom. So Seagram 7 is obviously in my list. It's not a great whiskey, but it's a sentimental whiskey. I think that would round out my list.
Sentimental because of the times we've had, or just the times you've had with it in general?
This was my first alcoholic beverage I've ever had.
Okay.
It was a 7 and 7 with Seagram 7.
Okay.
It's a bourbon and 7. It's a whatever you want to call it. It's a whiskey mixed with 7-Up. I prefer Seagram 7. It's what I had growing up. I've enjoyed every night that we've had Seagram 7 just about.
Yeah, you can't.
And quite frankly, it's cheap, it's sweet, it's not going to top anybody else's list, I don't think, but it'll round out mine. So what do you got?
I feel like I kind of have to go in no particular order on this one, because it's just, these are my 4 favorite whiskeys, and I feel like there's going to be a nostalgic effect to all of them. I have to go with Crown Apple first.
Yeah.
Not that maybe that's my top, because Crown Royal isn't top shelf by any means. I feel like no one would disagree with that. Sorry, Crown Royal. If the CEO of Crown Royal ends up watching this, I'm sorry, I love your whiskey, but Crown Royal is definitely one that I've had a lot of good times with, especially their green apple flavor. That's just happiness in a bottle. I'm not one to drink when I'm upset, but I definitely unwind with a glass of whiskey. Yeah. So I think that Crown Royal is definitely a good. It's sweet. It's crisp. That apple flavor is really strong. Any Crown Royal flavor, I really appreciate the fact that they have so many different flavors. All right, so we had some technical difficulties. This is our first try, so give us some credit.
That is what it is.
Yeah, the camera died on us, so hopefully we can get through the rest of this without any issues. We'll try to edit it together, but hey, it's our first try. But we're Mount Rushmore. I was Crown Apple. You were, you said what again?
Seagram's.
Seagram's. Okay, so number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. Or your second.
Okay.
On the
Number
Mount
3.
Rushmore. Number 3. Okay, number 3.
For me is going to be probably Jameson.
Jameson.
Just
Okay.
regular old Jameson. Just because it's easy enough to shoot.
Yeah.
If you're gonna shoot whiskey, Jameson's the way to go. Jameson and Pickleback is actually my favorite.
Okay, have you heard the thing where you chase with pickle juice?
That's Jameson.
Oh, it's pickleback. Oh, okay. All right. Sounds good.
It's really good.
Makers would be my second.
Which is surprising to me because I don't think
It's
of Makers
super
as a whiskey.
strong. Yeah, it really makes
Bourbon.
good. It makes really good old fashions, which I really enjoy old fashions.
I really have to be in the mood for old fashioned.
I'm always in the mood for an old fashioned because I'm kind of old fashioned because we're gentlemen.
First one.
Number 3.
Is going to be Suntory, the Japanese whiskey.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
we saw that at Walmart.
We did see that at Walmart. It is a slightly more pricey whiskey,
Yeah.
but it is extremely smooth. Surprisingly smooth. Like, I'll go out of my way to have a specific Suntory.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Jack Daniels, I know that's like some lowbrow stuff, but Jack Daniels, I've just had so many memories off of Jack Daniels. That was the first thing, Jack and Coke and
Yeah.
all that. So Jack Daniels is definitely, and any of the Jack Daniels, the Tennessee Honey one, it's just the number 7, Lucky number 7. Mm-hmm.
The Jack Daniels Honey is definitely my favorite of the Jack Daniels bunch.
Yeah.
I can't do Jack straight. It just, I don't know what it is.
It's kind of rough. It's definitely like lower shelf. Not exactly low
Which
shelf.
isn't a bad thing. I think there's a lot of really good.
I think the
low
next
shelf
time we're gonna have to talk about vodkas because we have some pretty bad vodkas
We
in
did,
Moscow.
we did.
Monarchs and Potters.
Anything with a plastic bottle typically is a warning cry.
Yeah, but we
And
drink it anyways.
It's cheap, so
It's cheap.
as long as
Balling
it's
on a budget.
cherry flavored.
Okay, so your 4th one.
The last one to top off my list.
Okay, so this is the top.
gonna be
This is your favorite.
My favorite whiskey.
All right.
And it has been for a while now.
I'm surprised it's not Seagram's.
No, it's Bullet Rye.
Bullet Rye.
Bullet Rye.
Okay.
It's not even the bourbon. It's the rye.
The rye.
It is
Like the bread.
no,
No. Okay, sorry.
but close enough.
Okay. Like Catcher in the Rye.
Sure, that works.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Okay.
That is the best one.
I think my favorite one, if I had to pick a little bit more obscure one, would be Elijah Craig. That one's a little bit more, at least in terms of my budget, higher shelf than anything else. But I really enjoy the smoothness of that bourbon.
Okay.
It's pretty versatile, but you can really enjoy it straight, which I feel like it's kind of hard for a whiskey to do both. Either it's a really good
Yeah.
mixing whiskey or it's a really good straight whiskey.
I think a lot of the lower end, lower tier
Lower
whiskeys,
tiers,
Seagram's being one, which is still another. It's a really good mixing
Mm-hmm.
whiskey. I don't like to mix more expensive whiskeys because I feel like you're kind of wasting it. If I can get the job done with a $10 bottle of Seagram's and mix it together and have it
Yeah.
right versus an expensive bottle, I may as well just go with the budget bottle
For sure.
because it does the same job and quite frankly it's still delicious.
For sure. There you go. There you have it. That's our 4 top favorite whiskeys. But this was fun, dude.
This was fun.
This was definitely fun. Definitely touch and go for a little bit, but
That's a first time experience.
yeah, and like I said, this is a hangout session. This is exactly what it is. So we don't know what we're gonna talk about, episode to episode. We're gonna try to do 2 of these a month, and kind of just fill the time. But it gives us an excuse to visit each other,
Yeah.
and hang out more, and hopefully have some fun. This podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, it's a hangout sesh. I do really want to give a shout out to my buddy Jose, who helped me a lot with researching. This is out of the box camera. This is the first time I've ever used this camera, so he definitely helped. He's a video editor and knows a lot about this stuff. So that's his career. So shout out to my buddy Jose and 525 Media, which is his YouTube channel. He definitely helped me out a lot with educating me on all this stuff, you know, because I know nothing about this, so I have no idea what this first episode is going to look like and how to edit this together, because we did have a dead camera for a little bit, so, you know, we'll figure it out as we go. We'll hopefully get a little bit better at this.
Working the bugs out early.
Dude, one thing that YouTube University, man.
Oh, yeah.
I've learned so much from YouTube. There's such a plethora of free stuff out there, just good people out there who, you know, are trying to educate the masses and you know, just like if you need to know how to do something, you just YouTube it and you'll figure out. There's a lot of stuff out there, so I really appreciate all the people who put all that education out there for free. You know, they do a lot of good stuff and they're really helping, you know, common people like us. So, you know, shout out to them, but big shout out to my buddy Jose out in Arizona, because he really came in. He recommended this camera. He recommended a lot of the programs that we're going to end up using to edit this thing together. But until next time, man, you know, so this is Gentleman Gang, the True Gentleman Podcast. Welcome to the gang. If you are listening or watching this, we really appreciate, you know, whatever viewership we get. And I'll see you in a couple weeks, dude. Alright, sounds good. Fighting again.